Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again on Talk and Fight as we discuss all the news that have hit the headlines today, courtesy of our friends over at Boxing 247, Europe's #1 boxing website. And thank you, Christian, for all the support you give me in providing me this news. So let's start off by talking about one of our favorite fighters out of the Philippines, Nonito Donaire, who signed with Balaam. Balaam is proud to announce the huge promotional signing of boxing legend and 9-time 4-weight world champion Nonito Donaire. Donaire, who's 41-6 with 27 knockouts, is the reigning WBC bantamweight champ and is universally recognized as one of the greatest boxers in the last 20 years. The Filipino Flash won his current world title with a fourth-round knockout over Nordine Ubali early this year, while he also claimed world honors at flyweight, super bantamweight, and featherweight. Congratulations. He goes on to, I'm sure, continue a great career, let's put it that way. And it's nice to see continuing her career, Terry Harper returning to the ring. She's confirmed to fight November 13th at Sheffield Arena. Super featherweight champion of the World Boxing Council, England's Terry Harper, who's 11-0-1 with 6 knockouts, was scheduled to face WBA champion South Korean Hyung-mi Choi, who's 18-0-1 with 4 knockouts in May, but unfortunately she suffered an injury during her training camp. Harper, who is now fully recovered, is scheduled to defend her WBC crown against a rival to be determined in the ring on November 13th at United Kingdom's Sheffield Arena. Terry is coming off a sensational performance by knocking out Norway's Katrine Thunders in 9 rounds to retain her WBC crown in November last year at the SSE Arena in Wembley. Before this match, Terry had an exciting draw with talented Natasha Jonas. Congratulations to her. Glad to see her back in the ring. In other news, we see that Ilunga Makuba is going up against Tapiso Machuno. After a broken negotiations agreement seemed to be in place, the mandatory title defense of WBC Cruiserweight champion Lunga Makubo versus Tapiso Machuno will go to purse bid this Friday, October 15th. The bid will be conducted by WBC President Mauricio Suleiman via Zoom, and only promoters registered in the WBC for their year 2021 are eligible to participate. In other news, we see that Paul Holt is ready to return to the ring this weekend. He, as you know, is a second-generation fighter, the son of former pro Mark Holt. Anyway, Paul Holt is ready to pour everything that he has left into the ring. The rest of his boxing career as he prepares for a return this weekend. His route back begins on home turf at the H Suite in Edgbaston, Birmingham, during the weekend doubleheader of shows staged by BCB Promotions, and that's set for, as I say, this weekend, October 16 and 17. Holt features on Saturday night, where he'll be in pro action for the 18th time with a checkered record of 10 wins, 7 losses to look back on. He racked up 48 amateur bouts for Nichols Green Boxing Club with 26 victories before turning pro in late 2013, where he would match his dad's achievements. Holt Jr., a fellow southpaw, follows in the footsteps with Midland's title glory in 2016, halting Lewis Fielding by 6-round stoppage. That was in the super featherweight division. After a crack at the featherweight crown his father once held proved unsuccessful against Bobby Jenkinson a year earlier. He relinquished the strap and was defeated, challenging for it again, going down in 3 to Lion Woodstock. He's only won once in 7 outings since. So good luck to Paul Holt and his bout this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, we see that Ryan Kelly's back in the ring over in Birmingham. As he says, it's the road redemption. Begins on home turf at the H Suite in Birmingham. As I said earlier, on a weekend doubleheader of shows staged by BCB Promotions. The Brum Kelly is part of Saturday night's lineup, where he'll look to redress the balance going on to his 18th pro contest, targeting a 15th victory. The former Midlands champion has also challenged for WBC International Silver and WBO European honors over a 6-year pro career spanning 17 bouts. As you'll recall, he raced to an 8-0 record before his first title challenge, taking on Adam Harper for the area crown, where a points decision went against him with 2 points behind them. 97-95. Kelly rebounded to claim the vacated Midlands crown by 7th round stoppage over Owen Jobin, one of 7 stoppages of his pro ledger. Ruthless wiped out Kelsey Ball in just a round of his one and only title defense before dropping to welter to vie for the WBC International Silver Bauble against Michael McKinson. A jaded Kelly labored to the end of 10 rounds with little left in scorecards, McKinson unanimously prevailing by verdicts of 99-90, 93-97, 92-97. The next title test was the last outing in WBO Super Welter strap 2 years ago, where Hamza Shariz proved to be too much with a TKO in the 6th. Anyway, on to other news. We see that Mikey Garcia is going up against Sandor Martin in Fresno, California. Also this weekend, Mikey Garcia believes Sandor Martin stands in his way of a world title action in 2022 as the 4-weight world champion returns to action this Saturday, October 16th at Chansey Park in Fresno, California, which will be shown on DAZN for those who are subscribers to that channel. Garcia, who's 40-1 with 30 knockouts, makes a welcome return to action in the catchweight clash at 145 pounds with Martin, as the Californian looks to land an eye-catching win to use as a springboard for mega fights in 2022. When Garcia steps through the ropes at the home of Fresno Grizzlies on Saturday night, it will be 596 days since the saw-off the challenge of Jesse Vargas in Frisco, Texas in February 2020. Martin, who's 38-2 with 13 knockouts, has been active over the pandemic, successfully defending his European super lightweight title with a wide decision win over K. Prosper in Barcelona in April, and previously shutting out Nestor Maradiaga over 8 in Milan in December. And the Southpaw Spaniard will be looking to land a career-best win and catapult himself into contention for fights that Garcia craves. So that looks to be a good one as well. Elsewhere in America, we see that Ali Ismailov faces Detroit's James Ballard in Dearborn, which is just outside of Detroit, this Saturday night. This Saturday, October 16th, IBF number 11, WBC number 14, and WBO number 15, light heavyweight. Ali Ismailov, who's 5-0 with 3 knockouts, returns to action against capable hometown veteran James Ballard, who's 10-3 with 3 knockouts in the 8-round main event. Promoters Kenny D. Moore and Vitran of Second to None Promotions Best of Tomorrow 12 event at the Performance Arts Center in Dearborn, Michigan. The 28-year-old Ismailov from Russia is a former amateur standout who won multiple elite international tournaments. Already world rated as a professional at just 5-0 with 3 knockouts, Ismailov recently started working with world-famous Florida-based trainer John David Jackson at his Action Jackson Boxing Academy in Fort Lauderdale. Jackson, who has spent the last 3 weeks sizing up his new protege, says Ismailov is a diamond in the rough waiting for polish. He says, I quote, "The sky is the limit for him with his punching power. He's a tremendous puncher, but he's also got natural boxing skills. As a fighter, I don't think he realizes his potential. I'm getting him to move his head more and throw more combinations instead of one power punch at a time. Nothing against his old trainers, but once he learns to throw three or four shots to set them up and camouflage the hard ones, he will be unstoppable." Gabriela Fundora faces Alejandra Soto in Mexico on October 23rd, screams the headline. On Saturday, October 23rd, 19-year-old flyweight prospect Gabriela Sweet Poison Fundora, who's 4-0 with 2 knockouts, will return for a 6-round flyweight battle on LC Promotions' round-by-round event at the Salón de Usos Múltiples Three Coronas in Los Rios, Estado de Mexico, against tough veteran Alejandra Titanita Soto, who's 7-6-1 with 3 knockouts. Unbelievably, this event will be streamed live on Facebook. Fighting for the 5th time already this year, the skillful 5'9" southpaw from Coachella, California, says winning her last 2 by knockout was not a coincidence. "I've turned my power up a notch," she says. "It happened so naturally. My first 2 pro fights, it was like dipping my toe in the shallow end. As soon as my 3rd fight, I got used to the rhythm, and since then it's been time to sit down on my punches and show them what I've really got. While Fundera says she doesn't often study specific opponents, she's looking forward to getting back in the ring against Soto. I don't know much about her, but we train hard to prepare for any style. You know what you bring. What? Okay, a little bit of a spelling malfunction there. To the ring, but don't worry about what you're facing. The more I fight, the more chances I get to go over what I'm doing wrong during fights and fix it before the next one. I'm improving very quickly, fighting every month, and I'm in top shape. Good to see that. In other news, we see that Zach Parker faces British rival Marcus Morrison on November 6th. Zach Parker will defend his WBO International Super Middleweight title against Marcus Morrison at Utilita Arena in Birmingham on Saturday, November 6th. That'll be live on BT Sport, by the way. The champion won't just be risking his crown, but also his status as number one contender in the rankings for WBO World title held by Canelo Alvarez when he faces Manchester's Morrison. Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren's predicting fireworks when the pair clash in the Midlands on Bonfire Weekend. He said, "It's a fight I'm delighted to have made, and it's a contest that should bring out the best in both guys. Zach is a Queensberry fighter, and I believe he wins, but he needs to fight solid opponents like Marcus while he waits for his world title shot. Marcus knows this is another great chance. Zach knows that he'll bring his best on fight night. Zach is one of the most avoided men in the division, but the moment Marcus and his team knew there was interest on our side, they moved quickly. They believe they can spring an upset. I believe fans in the arena and BT Sport viewers will see a fight between two guys who have ability and ambition." Parker is 21-0 with 15 knockouts, and he'll be making his second defense of the title he won with an impressive stoppage of American Vaughn Alexander back in March. The Neil March managed boxer made it 5 wins on the spin in July when he knocked out Sherzad Khushnov in the first round. Former Manchester City player Morrison, who's 24-4 with 16 knockouts, has seen his career kick on since July 2019 when he traveled to Italy and upset former European champion and world title challenger Emmanuel Blandemura in 9 rounds. In May, he took on Chris Eubank Jr. and pushed him all the way before going down on points after 10 rounds. So that looks like to be a pretty great clash, I got to admit. But whether they'll go on to fight Canelo is another story. We'll see. It's in the cards. All right. Speaking of Mexico, we see Jose Luis Balthazar versus Balaam Hernandez. It's a result, and it happened the same time we were watching Fury and Wilder. This past Saturday, the Viva Reynosa card was held, starting an exciting fight where Jose Luis Balthazar defeated the tough Balaam El Jaguar Hernandez by decision. The fight was hotly contested, with Jose Luis showing his best quality to defeat his rival by decision. In the semi-star fight, Tyrese Cormier from San Antonio, Texas, won another important victory in his career. The card was presented by Lion Promotions at the traditional Arena Coliseo in the city of Reynosa, Tamaulipas. And that, my friends, is all the news fit to print today. And I thank you for joining me. Hello, Nottingham. And I hope you enjoyed the news that I've just read off, courtesy of our friends at Boxing 247. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Remember to like, share, subscribe, as I'm sure you will. Remember to hit that notification bell. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.